why I told you that we turned on the rewrite engine so that browsers would understand our file structure. And then we locked our files and folders so that in case anybody wanted to reach out to any of our files in our file system, it would be passed as is rather than being rendered to protect ourselves from any hackers. Then we blocked sensitive files from being accessed by people through the browser. For example, our .m file, JSON, uh, the .log file, the readme.md file, log, every executable file which is .sh, and the git file. After that, we were able to go to uncreated index.php, which had some few rules. We were trying to create a front end controller, and all requests would go through this index.php before they can go anywhere else. So we looked at one way of declaring constants by saying define, let the default view be home, and we declared the directory of every front end view to be app/views. And then we went ahead to sanitize some of the records that would go through index.php. For example, the variable view, we said it gets the view and then displays the default view which we've already defined to be home. Then we sanitize to allow only alphanumeric characters, hyphens, and underscores in the requests that we receive. This is to prevent traversal attacks by someone adding a query parameter question mark saying view equals, then they get to direct to where each and every of these files is located in our file directory. We also said that just in case sanitization has failed, then the default view should be the home page. Then we resolved the build of the full patch of any file in our directory to be the .php, adding to it or appending to it the views path. Then we were able to also see conditions in depth where we have the if and else when we're trying to find, just in case the page is not found in our file system and we want to load a 404 page. We say that if a file exists, then someone should be able to view it, or else if it's not existent, then let the response code be 404, whereby the 404 file will be 404.php. And that's where we stopped last time. So the first thing we're going to do today is to create a 404 page, where in case someone visits that page and they are unable to visit any non-existent page in our application, then they are taken to the 404 page. So we shall go to app, and under apps we shall have hold on a minute. So under app we shall look for views, and under views we shall create a file, and we are going to call it I'm going to create here a file. I'm going to call it 404.php. And this is the file that will be loaded every singular time someone visits a page that does not exist. So what do we add in 404.php? In 404.php we get to add anything that we believe is a page that would look good when someone visits. Let's get some beautiful HTMLs online that someone can view. Mm, Let me first try to search from what I have here. Thank you very much. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. Um, Let me try to reshare my screen. Sharing the entire screen. Yeah, so I'm trying to get some HTML that I will add in our 404.php file. So every front end will go under views.php, and you can always get templates online. For example, there is this one. I really love it already, though it's too disorganized. Oh, we're on Sportscope, so something should match something to do with football. This is okay for football. So let us look at it in depth. It will just give us some sort of a lady seated on the O, and there's 404, and probably they are on water. So this is a lot of CSS and JavaScript. You're going to use this. So let us look at the HTML code for this. Mm, Maybe was to this one. Mhm. They're not loading the HTML. Neither the CSS. I don't know why I was interested in this. Just in case they are not lying that they do provide code for this. If they are lying, then we can find other people for R404. In the same way, as it loads back to our code, since we say that we have something called the home, then we need to create home.php in the views folder that will always be the home page of our web application. Yes, we now have the CSS. Here is the HTML. It's a very simple HTML. It's a div, and I hope you recall your HTML very well. We shall go through it together because we prefer clean code. So I'll come to 404.php, and I'll try to open a PHP tag, and I'll close it here. Then right outside of it, I'll paste our HTML. Let us first go through this HTML. It says it creates a div whose class is block 404. So we expect CSS to style block 404, and within it we have an empty div of class waves. So we expect some CSS or probably JavaScript that would populate this empty div, and then it creates an image, which is this, the image which is of that source. If I tried to open this image in my browser, this is what it brings. Yeah, so this is the image that they used, and probably they added waters around it. That's amazing. Okay, so when we look at the CSS they used, it's a huge long list of CSS. So um we shall select everything from here, and then we copy it, and then we shall come into our code. You learned very well that in case we have anything that needs styling, then we place it under style. So in principle, everything we add under the head tag is not meant to go into our code. But this time around, we don't have a full HTML structure like we had before. So let us try probably adding this here. So let us try saying style, and then under style we try to paste everything that was style, and then for cleaner code we try to drag everything to be in line. Control Z. Yeah. So it styles the block 404, and then the T404. Let us first see what is T404. Is this other empty div? So there's an empty one and empty one below, and the image is in between. All right. So if I'm to come to, if I'm to search for XAMPP, if I'm to search for our XAMPP server and I try to run it, I should be able to come up with that 404 page when someone tries to visit our website and it's non-existent. Let me try running our server, running the database, though we've not yet started building databases, and running FileZilla so that the files are passed to our server, and everything seems to be working as good as normal. So if we say localhost slash sportscope, we should get this. It's not that so bad. It's not bad. All right. So for now, it's displaying that not because our website link is not existing, but because it's trying to access home.php under the views folder, and it's not finding it, so it's giving us an A404 page. Is that okay? So we've been able to achieve our very first view, which is 404.php. So we are going to do away with everything to do with HTML for now, the file extension HTML. And we shall be remaining with things to do with only things to do with 404, sorry, things to do with .php, and our HTML will be embedded inside of PHP, and we shall give the work of a compiler to called PHP binary the role of converting this into the other language and into HTML DOM that the browser understands. That said, we are going to create our second view and we are going to call it home.php. All right. When it comes to this, what are we going to do? Let us try sharing this. So just a minute. Yes. Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create the home page, on which when people visit this home page, every single time someone comes to this page, it's the one that loads. It's what index.php is waiting for to display. So to be able to achieve this, so I need to share the whole screen again. Okay, to be able to achieve that, we're going to still go in for um, home page HTML templates. So you can see that if you know things from first principle, then getting templates is so easy because you can judge what can work for you and what cannot work for you. Mm, I need to add free. I'm not willing to pay for things that are literally very basic. So we just need a simple home page. For illustrative purposes, doesn't really need to be about sports scope. We shall customize that a little later. Mm, okay, let me see if this is free. It seems complicated. I don't need something so complicated. Let me see. Mm, nah, this is not HTML. This is Next.js. So if that fails, we can also try just Copilot.com. Our main objective is to ensure that we are able to create these HTML pages. Like last time when I told you before this class, try to create your own HTMLs that we shall be integrating into PHP. So let us ask write simple um, landing page for sports cup mm, with about and login in menu and sample games like FortMob in HTML. Okay, so let us give it the role of doing that for us. In the meantime, back to our project, let us create every single other page we might need. So we are going to also need about .php. We're also going to need we're going to need login, but I prefer calling it auth.php. Now I'm not going to likely populate all this, but I'm going to give you an overview of how you can navigate this and you'll complete it on your own. Then I'll switch directly on how you can create routing. So let's see what AI has created. I'm a human. All right. Here is sample HTML that they've created for us. Okay. So we shall copy that, come to home.php, and we try to open our PHP tag. Nope. And the purpose of just this is to ensure that in future we are not taken away. What have I just done? Mhm. Okay, so let us try to paste this code here and we try to follow it and we understand its entire flow. It's HTML doc type. Okay, that's okay. It's giving our page a title called Sports Scope. That's fine. Style, body, header, navigation, a, over. This is clean. We shall get back to this later. Your gateway to live sports: Manchester versus Chelsea, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, PSG versus Bayern Munich. Okay. So if I come back to this and I try to reload, since the home page exists, then it will not bring a 404 error. It would bring in something like this. But however, this is dirty. We need to first do some HTML cleaning up. Do you recall your HTML? We are going to remove from about sports scope all the way down here. So we shall come in the code and this section is not needed for now, so we can just comment it off. Probably we shall need it, but not now. That's how we comment off in HTML. If you didn't know, that part has been commented off, and this one is not needed at all. So that our outcome is something of that kind. Now that's clean. Premier League, La Liga, and Champions League. So yeah. So basically, when you come back to index.php, we try to define that every single thing that we are trying to look for that ends with the .php is under app views. So you just find the name, then .php, you negate then .php, and that's what determines what goes up here. So if I tried to say slash hi, it will take me to a 404 page. Nope, didn't. If I try to say slash hi.php, so that means we still have a lot to do in correcting our website to point properly in case a page does not really exist. So I want you to help me create all these views, like very seriously. To create the .404, the .about, the .authentication, then the home.php in HTML, just like this one. Then we shall come and start doing some what we call routing, where we route every single page and how it should appear in the address bar. And then we shall go on to get auto loading, that is in the next class. And also we shall work on and then we shall work on our very first models. No. After routes, We shall now start talking about databases before we can proceed further into controllers. Without further ado, allow me to first pause it right here so that you can do those few things very fast because they're needed in our next class. And this is half of the first class actually. So we still have 2.5 more classes to go. All right.